Did you know that in 3 Michelin-starred restaurants, the chefs have to pay attention at the angle at which they lay the leaf of parsley on the plate? Well, in that case, would you be surprised if we told you that a dinner in a 3 Michelin-starred restaurant would cost you around $1,000? So here are the top 10 most expensive restaurants in the world. Let's dive right into it, shall we? Number 10, Per Se, New York City, price per person $325. If you're wondering about the low price of this restaurant, let us explain. We've selected the most expensive restaurants on their cheapest menu. Now, you can add an expensive bottle of wine, some extra caviar, and if you quickly see the price tag rise to the freaking roof. This is why we added the cheapest option when it comes to these restaurants, and yes, Per Se New York City starts at $325. So what do you get for $325? The first thing you get is the option to choose between 2 9-course menus. One is the regular, and the other one is the vegetable option. You should note that this price tag doesn't include wine, tax, or tip. So be prepared to shell out another $150 to $200 on that tip and tax. If you're thinking about wine, you can either bring your own, which will still cost you $150 just to bring it through the door, or you can get the wine pairing option. Here, a professional sommelier will pair a glass of wine that perfectly complements the dish. Number 9, Kitcho Kyoto, price per person $380. Let's just say that this has to be one of the most beautiful restaurants in all of Japan. It's encapsulated in a bamboo forest, and the surrounding greenery gives this place a certain feeling of calm to it. Head chef Kunio Tokioka said that you have to bow before entering the restaurant because the doors are pretty low. This humbles the guest in the presence of nature. Seasonal ingredients are prepared with the utmost attention to detail. Because of its popularity, you'll have to make a reservation months in advance. Kitcho is always packed. The lunch menu starts at $380, while the dinner menu will run you an additional $100. And yes, VAT and tips are not included in the price. Number 8, Aragawa, price per person $400. Aragawa is a restaurant located in the capital of Japan, Tokyo. While the average meal in this restaurant will run you about $550, you can have a platter of Kobe beef for just smashing that like button if you haven't done so already. Oh, we wish. The lowest meal will run you about $400, hence the modest price tag. All of the ingredients at this restaurant are from local farmers, and they're cooked with the utmost precision to detail. Every ounce of Kobe comes from a small local ranch where the cows are fed sake and treated like royalty. And each platter comes with pepper and mustard. Pretty basic if you ask us. Number 7, Joel Rabuchan in Las Vegas, price per person $425. Some hate the $30 increase on the menu from before, but others can't get enough of the food and wine and the experience here. But regardless, the man is a living legend, and you still have to make a reservation in advance if you want to get in. Speaking of the price tag, if you include the 8% tax and the 20% tip, you get a price tag that's close to $540 for a single person. On top of that, you can choose wine pairings in the range of $295, $595, and $995, which only further raises the price. But if you're not worried too much about spending $1,000 on one dinner, then go for it. Number 6, Hotel de Ville, price per person $437. The restaurant where head chef Frank Giovanni got his 3 Michelin stars is where we're taking you next. Each of the meals is a perfect representation of what hot cuisine should look like. There's a general idea that follows the concept of farm to table, and every plate that's sent out needs to be carefully analyzed, meticulously prepared, and delivered impeccably before you get to taste it. Oh, we forgot to mention that the La Liste named Hotel de Ville the 5th best restaurant in the world. That's like being the 5th wealthiest person on Forbes' list. Number 5, Maison Pic, Valence, France, price per person $445. The restaurant called Maison Pic in Valence in France has been run by 3 generations of chefs from the Pic family. The grandfather, the father, and now chef and Sophie Pic have all kept their 3 Michelin stars. And if you know anything about Michelin, you'll realize just how difficult it is to maintain 3 Michelin status for a single year, let alone an entire century. The current chef has decided to put her special twist on the classic dishes that her grandfather served back in the 30s. Paying $445 for a third-generation culinary genius is pretty much a privilege. Number 4, Masa, New York City, price per person $450. Who would have guessed that the most expensive restaurant in New York City, as well as the States, would actually be a sushi place? Well, chef Masayoshi Takayama has worked hard, honed his skills, and managed to charge such high prices for his sushi, and still have people eagerly waiting to get in. Masa is the first 3-star Michelin restaurant in New York City, and yes, you get a chef that prepares the food right in front of your eyes, and you get to eat it right then and there. You get a warm rice, fish that was prepared in the morning, and freshly grated wasabi root. Now that's how you eat sushi. Number 3, Alain Ducasse at the Dorchester. Price per person $483. French chef Alain Ducasse has one of the most popular restaurants in Dorchester, and you get to experience a 3 Michelin star dining experience that will certainly have that wow factor. The chef running the restaurant is Jean-Philippe Blondet, and at this price, you're getting a 7-course meal, which will inevitably include some of the restaurant's classics. And of course, you will have the option to buy some of the supplemental dishes and the special menus. If you take into account the 14 to 20% VAT, then you're more likely to look at a price tag of over $550. Add a big fat tip to that bill, and you're looking at a dining experience that will make you cringe. Number 2, Ultraviolet, price per person $900. In 2015, Ultraviolet was voted the 24th best restaurant in the world, so if you're having any doubts about the food quality, this is a good indicator. One of the cool things about this restaurant is that it has 1 table and can sit 10 people per night. The restaurant doesn't want a crowded place, it only wants to offer guests the best dining experience possible. They pride themselves on the multi-sensory experience. This translates to once-in-a-lifetime experience that accompanies the dishes with colorful images, special LED light shows, and of course, scent diffusers that make sure that every scent is exactly right. The only way to experience Ultraviolet is to visit it. Number 1, Sublimotion. Price per person $2,000. Just like our previous pick, this is another restaurant that prides itself on including all the senses into one extraordinary dining experience. And yes, this is by far the most expensive restaurant in the entire world. The restaurant is located in Ibiza, Spain, and it was established back in 2014. Since then, head chef Paco Ronchero has made sure all of his guests that are paying the exorbitant amounts of money will get an outer-worldly experience. There's only 1 table in the entire restaurant, but this one can sit 12 people at a time. Each dining adventure is comprised of 20 courses, and there's a staff of 25 people that take care of each guest. Every guest is given a special section of the table, and there's a name telling them where to sit. Even though they've done an amazing job at offering a gastronomic show, some food critics say that they just stole the idea from Ultraviolet that opened back in 2012. On a related note, we wanted to know what's the most expensive restaurant you've dined in. You can tell us in the comments section below. If you'd like more videos like these, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of them. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.